Rightio guys, now for the next part of this, the Aurin website tutorials, we'll go through downloading the data set and putting it into a GIS system. So what we did last time is we went through the workflow of the area, then we chose a data set, in this case the contours, and then we visualized it with a chloropleth, which is where you can see these little lines here. So all this information is great on the website, but if we want to go ahead and start manipulating it or building maps out of it or terrains out of it, it's not much good to us on the website. So what we can do is we can click on there, just left clicked on that spanner there, and we can download that information in a JSON file. So it will go ahead and do that. Now I just want to note that we've also what we selected in the attributes was we did select the altitude as well. So we could have just selected geometry, but we did choose an altitude as well. So now this will become a little bit useful a bit later on when we start to build a terrain. But in the meantime, we'll go to our downloads and expand that, extract that information, and click OK. Pause it for a minute guys and I'll come back. Righto, so now we've got the information here. Let's create a new file, and this is the type of information that we are then given. Now this is not really all that used to many programs, but one it is good for is QGIS, which is a free open source GIS, which is basically mapping software, which we can use to read conveniently in these the JSON files. So what we want to do is we want to go in the QGIS is to add a vector layer, and we'll browse down to downloads, and go into something called contours, enter here, and we'll chuck in the JSON file. So what the JSON file does include is global coordinates. So what you can then do is add layers or download other JSON files from the Aurin website, and that will then allow you to lay the maps on, and they'll all have the same mapping coordinate system. So you won't lose your spot. Yeah, so that's all well and good. Just slow down there. Yeah, cool. Okay, so at the moment it's still in a JSON file format, which is still not that great for us. So what we can do is just right click and go save as, and we'll browse and we'll put in the same one. And what we want to save it as is as an Esri shapefile, .shp, and we'll give it a file name, and we'll go Mary Brignon, and we'll call it shape. We'll save it. We want to keep the attribute creation. Sorry. Yeah. And go ahead and save. Now that file should appear in here, and as a shapefile. And what we can now do with these shapefiles is we can read it into other programs. I'm not sure if a AutoCAD does, but I know you can read it into a Rhino and a Grasshopper. and from there you can and also read in the database file, so the height field or the height values, and then from that you can start to make a contour map. So what I might do from here is jump into Max and just show you some contour maps which I've made using just a very simple terrain command. So cool.